my favorite.
Oh, I'm digging that.
Perfect. Scott, how you doing?
Good.
Your shoulder okay after your fall?
It's okay. It's getting better.
Good news.
Yeah, yeah. I can do a push-up again, so that's
Woo.
good.
That's
Awesome.
awesome. Just don't push it too hard. No, not
No.
too many push-ups. Just a few.
No, I need to work it though. It hasn't been worked for quite a while.
Yeah. All right, well, let's work it. Just not too much, not too little, just right. Okay. I'm gonna
Good deal.
let's do this. I'll mute you guys. And then if anyone joins, my mom said she might hop on, but I don't see her, so. All right. And then I'm gonna just spotlight myself and we'll get going. Go ahead and just lay down on your back to get started. So as you lay down, you guys know the drill. Just kind of take a moment and feel your body stretch. Maybe arms long, legs long. Maybe give yourself just a little forehead temple massage, jaw massage. And then let's come into, let's go for Supta Baddha Konasana. So feet together, knees open wide. Unless that hurts your low back. So if that hurts your low back, then do the opposite. Take constructive rest pose instead. And then once you are on your back and you've found stillness, whatever position you've chosen intentionally, let's just bring one hand to our heart and one hand to our belly. And start to notice the rise and fall of each breath, the expansion and contraction. And I think we did this last week. It's called the Loma breathing. So we're going to take a huge inhale, hold in fullness, and then we'll exhale just 1/3 of the air out, pause, then a second third, pause, then all the way to empty, find emptiness, hold, and then inhale all the way up, and we'll do it 3 times. So wherever you're at in your breath, just let it go. And then inhale, fill up. As big as you can get, hold in fullness. So you should feel your chest, your ribs, your belly expand. Exhale 1/3 of the air out and pause. Another third, pause. All the way to empty. Become empty, hold in that emptiness for a split second. And then inhale, fill up. Hold in fullness as big as you can get with your breath. Exhale 1/3 of the air out. 2/3. All the way to empty. Become empty. Hold in emptiness. Hold in emptiness. Last round. Inhale. Hold. Hold in fullness. And 1/3. Exhale. Pause. That second third. Let it out and pause. And then all the way to the very, very, very bottom, empty all the way out, hold in that emptiness. Inhale, fill up. And then open your mouth and sigh. All right, start to drop in now to enjoiiiii breath. So slow, spacious inhales and long, steady exhales all the way to the very bottom. Really start to find a rhythm to your breath. It's not rushed at all. And see if you can feel at the very, very bottom emptiness, so you're all the way empty and you feel what's called Mula Bandha, your root lock, Uddiyana Bandha, and even Jalandhara Bandha if it's there, your throat lock. So Uddiyana is core, Jalandhara is throat. When you're empty, you want to engage all those locks for a split second and then inhale, fill up. So really start to tune into your breath even more. Stay curious about it. As you're ready, friends, if your knees are wide, lift them up slowly. And then one leg at a time, hug your knees in towards your belly and just find a gentle rock from side to side. So give your low back a little massage. And then after a few rocks, set your feet on the ground with your knees back. All of your toes face directly forward, and your feet are about hip-width distance apart, arms down by your sides now. Exhale, we're going to start with pelvic tilts. Pull your belly button down, scoop just your tailbone up. And then inhale, press your tailbone down, lift your low back up a little bit. Exhale, posterior pelvic tilt. Engage your core, scoop up your tailbone. And then inhale, tailbone to the ground, lift your low back. Anterior tilt, back and forth. And see if you can even start to feel into neutral spine right in the middle. After one or two more rounds, just like this, then start to make your way up into your full bridge. So eventually your inhale will just peel your entire spine up. And once you're at the top of your bridge, you take whatever variation you choose. So maybe you want to interlace your fingers. Maybe you want to find robot arms. Press into the back of your head, hug in with your inner thighs, and especially press into your heels and the inner edges of your feet. See if you can pick up your toes and spread them. Good job, friends. Take about 3 more breaths wherever you've chosen to be in this posture. And then from wherever you are at, stay in bridge, but see if you can bring your arms to a position where they're just reaching straight up towards the ceiling or up towards the sky. Take one more inhale, press through your heels, lift your hips, and then as slow as you can, one vertebra at a time, lower your spine back down. Once your spine is back to neutral, tee out your arms or cactus your arms and slowly move your knees from side to side. Windshield wipers back and forth. Try not to go too fast. So usually the slower you go, the more you can find, the more you can feel. It's so interesting when brand new people come to yoga, they usually want to move really fast. They're not used to moving slow, but the more we practice, seems the slower you start to go. And I think that's a good thing. Slow is good in a fast world. All right, come back to center as you're ready. So maybe finish the round you're on and bring it back. Hug your knees in again. And this time, take our rock side to side. But then eventually, we're going to rock and roll up into a seated position. So if you want to get there without rocking and rolling, that's totally fine. But otherwise, start to rock and roll a few times, a few rounds. Kind of massaging out those muscles right along the length of your spine on both sides. And then eventually just rock up and find a comfortable seat. So if you want to, you can absolutely use something you've got at home, a bolster, a pillow, a blanket, a block, sit up on top of it. Or if you're comfortable, just sit bones on the ground, that's great too. So find comfortable seated position and just let your arms relax down by your sides. Exhale in your breath. Inhale, take your arms up. And as you exhale, bring your right hand down to the ground beside you. Walk your right fingertips out to the right, bend your elbow. So your forearm gets a little closer, and then reach to your left side, your left arm. Keep both of your sit bones on the ground or on your prop. And imagine you're trying to puff up your ribs towards the sky. Breathe big, spacious ujjayi breath. And then next time you breathe in, rise back up, arms reach. As you exhale, bring your fingers together, so interlace your fingers and press your palms forward, curl in. So press through your palms and round through your spine. Take a moment here and maybe lift one shoulder and then the other shoulder, so you're kind of stretching into each side of your back body. And then next time you breathe in, rise back up, arms to the sky, release your fingers. And exhale, bring your left hand to the ground beside you. Walk your left hand out just a bit so you can bend your elbow and get your forearm a little closer to the ground. Some of you may have your forearm on the ground, no problem, but make sure your sit bones are both grounded and rooted. Breathe into your right side. Feel whatever there is to feel. Get curious about it. So we have a lot of fear when we feel stuff that feels off or that feels stiff or painful. We automatically go to fear. We want to Google all our symptoms and then we're really afraid that everything's wrong with us. So see if you can start to first get curious, just really tuning into what you feel. Good job, my friends. Next time you inhale, rise up, arms to the sky. And then exhale one more time like we did before. Interlace, press your palms forward and round your spine. All right. This time release your fingertips, release your clasp, and just transition onto your hands and your knees, tabletop. So coming into a tabletop position. And then moving into some cat-cow undulations. Inhale to find spinal extension, exhale to round and find spinal flexion. So see if you can really feel how your breath guides this movement. Every time we inhale, we're expanding. Every time we exhale, we're contracting, hugging in. Back and forth about 2 more times through both of those poses. So much awareness. See if you can notice more than you've ever noticed before in your cat-cows. And then after those 2 more rounds, find your way back to your first downward facing dog. And walk out your dog for a moment. Feel around, find the strength in your hands and your shoulders. Find the connection to your center. Maybe you pedal out your heels. Good job, my friends. All right, in your down dog, take one more big inhalation. And then as you exhale, look to the top of your space, step, tiptoe, or hop, forward fold. Hang out in your fold for a moment, maybe ragdoll your arms and just kind of bounce or sway or bob a little bit. Big spacious breaths into your back body. Saw through your face, saw through your jaw. Take one last round in your forward fold. And then release your arms and let's just roll up really, 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 really slow. Really slow. Let your arms and your head hang heavy. And then only at the very top does your head stack and roll your shoulders out for a moment, up, back, and down a few times. Next time your shoulders roll back and down, keep them there. Palms face forward, so mountain pose, open through your palms, receptive, grounded through your feet. Feel your big, slow, spacious breath flowing through you. Next time you inhale, arms to the sky, high mountain. Hinge at your hips, lead with your heart, dive down, exhale into your fold. Lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to the back of your yoga mat. Inhale at the top of your push-up, push the ground away, come to your knees if you want, and exhale to slowly lower. Inhale, peel your heart open. You choose any back bend you're feeling. And give yourself a couple breaths. And eventually, let's just meet in a tabletop position, hands and knees. All right, from tabletop, my friends, let's bring our knees at least hips width distance apart. Take your right arm out to the right and all the way up towards the sky. Inhale here. Now listen, as you exhale, thread your right arm underneath you, but don't come down to rest yet. Just reach as far as you can and hover. Inhale, unthread, reach out and up again. We'll do that 3 times. Exhale, reach underneath, reach, hover, hover, empty out. Inhale, unwind. This is the last one. Exhale, thread it through, reach as far as you can, and then rest down on your head and your shoulder. Any way you want to work this pose for a few deep breaths. Soft face, soft jaw. And really focus on breathing into your back body, the space between your shoulder blades, your back ribs. Last couple of rounds here. Left hand to the ground if it's not already there. And then on an inhalation, unthread your right arm one last time, reach it out and up. Exhale, set your right hand down. Now you can either move into a modified side plank. So pivot on your right knee, bring your right foot out behind you, left leg back, left arm up. Or full side plank. So if you're feeling it, step your right foot back, stagger or stack your feet, and lift your hips really high. Left arm forward, bicep next to your ear. And if your left leg is not already floating, maybe you float it up. So wherever you are at, move into your personal fullest expression. If you're in a modified variation, maybe you bind the pose. If you're in full Vashisthasana, maybe you even turn it into a wild thing. Last couple of rounds, your personal fullest expression. Soften around it, and then slowly, let's all meet in a plank or a modified plank. Inhale at the top of your push-up, and exhale, lower down. Back bend of your choice, lift your heart, take your time. And eventually just a child's pose, sit back and rest, hips to your heels, forehead to your mat. Breathe. Right, so can you still feel and hear your breath flowing through you? All right. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Feel your right hip open, bend your knee, and squeeze your outer right butt cheek. Take one more big inhalation. And then as you exhale, right knee to your nose, scoop out your belly, round your spine, step forward softly. Bring your hands up to your front thigh. So you're in a lunge position, hands to front thigh. All right, with your hands on your front thigh, see if you can start to straighten your front leg. So you're still balancing on the ball of your back foot, but start to pull your right butt cheek back and up, 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 up. Feel your upper body like it's in a halfway lift position. So lengthen your spine, telescope your ribs, connect to your strong core, navel to spine. Pull your right butt cheek back, and imagine there's a rope attached to it. It's pulling up towards the ceiling. Lengthen through the back of your neck. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, bring your hands either to blocks or fingertips to the ground. Fold over your front leg. So it's like you're in an extended pyramid pose. balancing on the ball of your back foot. If you hate balancing on the ball of your back foot, you can step your back foot forward like you're in a regular pyramid stance. But wherever you go with this, you're still pulling your right butt cheek back and up. Stay rooted through the inner edge of your right foot. If you are working your fold, forehead towards your shin, nose towards your knee, and then bottom of each exhalation, navel to spine. Take about 2 more deep breaths here. Good job, you guys. Bottom of your next exhale. Crawl your fingertips forward or walk your hands forward. Maybe you're using blocks. Keep your right hand on the ground or on a block. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Heel your hip open, so squeeze to your outer right butt cheek and stack your left hip on top of right. Left foot active. Maybe your left arm reaches up, half moon. Only if you want to, bind the pose, bend your left knee, reach back and hold your foot with your hand. Open through your left shoulder, kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot wherever you're at. 1 or 2 more deep breaths. We'll meet in a forward fold, so slowly release and come into a fold at the top of your yoga mat. You can pedal out your heels, you can give your right leg a little shake out. Reconnect to enjoiiiii breath. Walk your feet out to the width of your mat and bring your toes wider than heels. So your toes can even come off of your yoga mat. Low squat malasana. So if at all possible, keep your heels on the ground. If you need to lift them, no big deal. Elbows to your inner knees, hands to your heart. I like to make fists and press my fists together. See if you can play with your pelvic tilt in this pose. So finding more of an anterior tilt, sticking your butt out, and then more of a posterior tilt, curling your tailbone under. And notice what you feel as you move back and forth. Is it hard to move back and forth? Do you even feel any difference? Can you move at all here? Or do you feel like you're stuck? Do your hips feel stuck? Just getting curious. Slow, steady breaths, couple more. Okay, fingertips to the ground, hips to the sky, and heel toe your feet in so they're about hips width distance. All of your toes now face directly forward, lift halfway as you inhale. Exhale, bow. And take it all the way to stand, arms overhead, breathe in, stretch. And hands go higher, exhale. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, take your time to slowly dive down. Halfway lift position, lengthen, inhale. And exhale, plant your hands, feet to the back of your yoga mat, plank or modified, inhale at the top. Slowly lower as you exhale, 3, 2, 1, back bend of your choice, no hurry, take your time here. Let it feel good for a moment. And then tabletop, hands and knees. All right, make sure your knees are at least hips width distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. And then left arm out, left arm up, inhale. Exhale, thread your left arm through, but don't rest down yet. Feel your core engage. Inhale, unwind, reach out and up. Exhale, thread it through all the way to empty as you reach. Press with your right hand. Inhale, unwind. Last one. Exhale, thread. And when you are all the way empty, then rest down on the outside of your shoulder and outside of your head. And we'll be here for a few rounds any way you want to work this pose on this side. Soft through your face and your jaw. Last couple rounds. If your right hand does happen to be lifted, set it back on the ground. And then next time you breathe in, unthread your left arm, reach it out, open. Exhale, left hand comes down, and you can choose either a modified side plank, so pivot on your left knee, open, or step your left foot back, stack or stagger your feet, lift your hips really high, reach your right arm forward, and maybe even float your right leg up. So your variation, if you're in the modified variation, maybe you bind the pose. If you're in full Vashisthasana, maybe you turn it into a wild thing. Last couple of breaths. And then let's slowly come back to plank or modified. Top of your push-up, inhale. Exhale, lower down. Lift your heart as you breathe in. And then take it all the way back, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Open up your left hip, bend your knee, reach it out and up. Squeeze through your medial glute, so it's the outside of your left butt cheek. See if you can feel it engage, and use it to lift your left knee a bit higher. One more in-breath. As you exhale, knee to your nose, scoop out your belly, and step forward softly. Hands come up to your front thigh once again. And then once you've got your hands on your front thigh, you're kind of leaning forward. Start to straighten your front leg by pulling your right butt cheek back. And imagine there's a rope attached to your left butt cheek back. And then imagine there's a rope attached to your left butt cheek and it's pulling straight up towards the ceiling. And then find that halfway lift, that length in your spine. Crown reaches forward, left butt cheek pulls back. You're balancing on the ball of your back foot. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, see if you can work into a fold. Drape your upper body over your front leg. If it's too much to keep balancing on your back toes, then you can step your back foot in like a regular pyramid stance. Otherwise, keep that element of balance and use your core. Pull your left butt cheek up and back. Bottom of each exhalation, see if you can fold a little further. Stay rooted through the inner edge of your front foot. So try to engage through the front of your left thigh, that quad muscle. See if you can get it to turn on. Last big, spacious, full body breath. Hands on the ground or on blocks. Start to crawl your hands forward and lift your back foot. We're going to open it up. So left hand will stay down, right hand, right hip. And peel it open. Squeeze through your outer left butt cheek. Maybe take your right arm to the sky eventually. And if you want to, Ardha Chandra Chapasana, bend your right knee, reach back, grab your right foot. Breathe deeply. Feel your pose, use your breath. If you fall out, no biggie. Meet yourself right there. Last couple of rounds. Forward fold is where we'll meet up, top of your space. Give your left leg a little shake out or pedal out both of your heels. Whatever feels good to you. This time, walk your big toes together until they touch. Little gap in between your heels. Tuck and curl, tiny little potato bug ball. Oh. So get as small and compact as you can. You can on purpose lift your heels up, or you can on purpose try to press your heels to the ground. And if you want, you can even wrap your arms around your shins. Breathe into your back body a lot. Good job, you guys. Take one more breath in your little tiny potato bug ball. Halfway lift, inhale. Widen your stance if you want. Exhale, fold. And take it all the way to stand, arms overhead, big stretch. Hands to heart, exhale. Inhale, reach up, high mountain. Slowly dive down, let your breath guide you. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back to high plank or modified plank. Push the ground away as you breathe in, and then all the way to your belly. This time, pause on your belly, and we will move into shoulder pigeon with our right arm. So right arm reaches out to the right, turn your head to the left, and roll onto your right side. And if you can't relax your head on the ground here, then put something under your head for a pillow. And take it only as deep as feels right to you. You can take any variation you want to with your left leg and your left arm. Make sure you can take big, spacious breaths. We'll be here for about 3, 4, 5 more. Soften your facial muscles, unclench your jaw. And then ease your way back onto your belly. And for just a moment, just be on your belly, turn your head the opposite direction and do whatever feels good with your arms. And maybe just a little rock of your hips side to side, or if it would feel good, you can windshield wiper your shins. If you windshield wiper your shins, make sure your knees are at least hips width distance apart. Breathe all the way down into your low belly, low back, all the way down into your hips and your pelvis. All right, my friends, your head should already be turned to the right. Extend your left arm out with your palm facing the ground. And then when you're ready, shoulder pigeon on your left side. So roll up onto your left side. And same thing, feel into it. Don't take it too deep. Don't force anything. Wherever you end up, you should be able to take big, deep breaths, and you should be able to rest your head on something, if not the ground. Take about 3, 4, 5 more deep breaths here. And then, no rush, but in your next couple of rounds, find your way back onto your belly again. And just like we did on the other side, same thing, turn your head the opposite direction. Just give yourself a moment, whatever feels good with your arms, your hips, your legs. Little rock or windshield wipers if you want. And then turn your head so that your forehead is on your mat. And bring your arms down by your sides. Exhale all your air out. And inhale, just lift everything up that you can. See if you can squeeze your shoulder blades closer to your spine and lift a little higher. See if you can hug in with your inner thighs and even try to rotate your inner thighs up towards the ceiling. If you want to, you can interlace your fingers and see if that helps get a little more opening in your front body. One more big, huge breath. And let it out, let it go. Come up to a tabletop and just sit back into a child's pose. Hips to your heels, forehead to your mat, and big, deep breaths. Maybe an open mouth sigh. All right, downward facing dog. All right, fire up your enjoiiiii. Take your right leg to the sky, breathe in. Step your right foot through as you exhale. And we're just gonna come into a wide-legged straddle. So right away, just walk your hands over to the left long edge of your mat, parallel your feet and straighten out your legs. Take a halfway lift as you inhale. Stick your butt out. And then exhale. You can either fold and just play around however you want, or option to walk your hands towards your back foot and see if you can grab your ankle with your right hand. So right hand to the outside of your left ankle, and then reach your left arm up, gaze up. Stay here or wrap your left arm behind your back. Take about 2 more deep breaths. You can let your neck relax, or you can gaze up at the sky, whatever feels best on your neck. If you don't like this twist, you do not have to take it. And then keep folding forward if that's where you've chosen to be, or unwind from that twist, walk your hands towards your front foot. And same thing, other side, left hand grabs the outside of right ankle, right arm up, gaze up, maybe wrap your right arm behind your back, and use the leverage of your hand against your leg to work your twist. Gaze up, or forest yoga would say just relax your neck, let your head be heavy. Good job. Last big deep breath if you're with me in this twist. And then everybody just back to neutral. Halfway lift, breathe in, fingertips on the ground. Walk your hands to the top of your mat. Low lunge. From low lunge, 3-legged down dog. Take your right leg back and up. Open up your right hip. And then from here, we'll move into a pigeon pose. So right shin forward, or if you want to take this on your back or any other variation, totally fine. So pigeon pose or your variation of pigeon for about 5 to 10 breaths. You can exhale out your mouth at any time. About 3 more. And then bottom of your next exhale, we'll start to transition into a seated position. So if you're with me in pigeon, you can follow me. If you're somewhere else, just get there however you need to. So I'm gonna lift my upper body and then just kind of sit over onto my right butt cheek, nice and easy. And then I'm going to just turn towards the long edge of my mat. Where we're headed is here, this wide-legged straddle. So you can face whichever direction you want to at home. Take your legs out wide, and if when you take your legs out wide, you feel like you're falling backwards. Might be a good idea to put something up or under your butt so that it lifts you up and it helps you sit up tall. So remember that posterior, anterior pelvic tilt? We want an anterior pelvic tilt here. We want to try to stick our butt out as we hinge at our hips rather than tuck our tailbone in round like this. So flex your toes back towards your shin and press down through the back of your heels. It's fine to have a little or even a big bend in your knees. Arms reach up, get really tall. And just like you would swan dive down from a regular forward fold, see if you can reach your butt back, reach your heart forward. And then when you can't lengthen anymore, just relax into it. Let your hands come to the ground. Let your upper back round. But try to keep sticking your butt out and lengthening through your low back especially. Press into the back of your heels. Dorsal flexion through your toes, and even imagine now that somebody's stepping on your thighs, and try to press down through the back of your thighs as well. Take about 4 or 5 more breaths. If this is super uncomfortable, maybe you just sit up tall and that's your practice today. That's your pose today. I used to really, really, really hate this position, and now I actually like it. All right, my friends, last couple breaths. And then if you are folded forward with me, bottom of your next exhale, just start to roll up slowly. Your head is the very last thing to lift up. However you want to get back to down dog, so you can get there your own way, or if you want, you can follow me. I'm going to swing my legs around so they're facing forward now. And I'm just going to find boat pose for a minute, but it feels good to hug my knees in right now, so I'm going to take this variation. You can take whatever variation you want. You can add some high boat, low boat if you're feeling crazy. I'm just going to hold for a couple more breaths. And then from boat pose, all I will do is cross my ankles, roll over my feet, plant my hands, and step my feet back to plank. I'll move through a vinyasa. Downward facing dog is where we're headed. See you there if you're not there already. All right, my friends. Okay, inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step your left foot forward, low lunge. And then this time we're going to do something completely different. So bring your hands over to the right long edge of your mat, come into a wide-legged straddle. I'm just going to turn around so I'm facing you guys, but you don't have to do that. From your wide-legged straddle position, come into a halfway lift, hands to hips, and then all the way up to stand. Once you're standing up, pivot heels in, point your toes out, and then bend your knees, hands to thighs. You want your knees stacked right over your ankles. So adjust if you need to. And try your best to press your knees behind you. Get low, inhale, lift your heart. So this is an anterior pelvic tilt. Exhale, twist towards the back of your mat. Press your knees open nice and wide. Hold here for a full round of breath. Inhale through center. Exhale towards the front of your mat. Hold for a full round. So all the way to empty, and then another big deep breath. Stay low, press your knees open, and we'll speed it up just a bit. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Heart lifts. Exhale, twist. All right, inhale, center. Straighten your legs this time. Parallel your feet. Take your arms up. Breathe in. Take it all the way down as you're ready. Hang out here for about 3 more breaths. I'm going to face the right way. So you should be facing the right long edge of your yoga mat. All right, next time you inhale, fingertips to the ground, halfway lift. Walk your hands forward, low lunge. From low lunge, 3-legged down dog. So left leg goes back and up. Open your hip for just a moment, and whenever you're ready, pigeon pose. So left shin forward, or if you'd like to take it in a seater on your back, of course, feel free. Big, slow, spacious breaths, open mouth size at any time are welcome. So good to get that energy somewhere to go. Holding your breath in a yoga pose is no bueno. Tells your body that you are not comfortable. So your body can't relax. So let your body know I'm okay, even though you might not be comfortable. You're safe. Everything is good. In this moment, your body can relax. Your body can let go. So you keep the strong structure of the pose, what's called the integrity of the pose, and then let your body soften around it. Take about 3, 4, 5 more breaths. All right, bottom of your next exhale. Let's come and get into a seated position. And this time I'm just gonna face the front of my mat. So if you're with me, sit over onto your left butt cheek, swing your right leg all the way around, and then give your legs a little shake out. So from this seated position, we will take a regular seated forward fold. Invitation, if it feels like you're rolling backwards when you sit here, bring something under your butt, so it's like giving yourself a head start. It's not cheating. It's better for your body. All right. Feet about hips width distance apart. Press down through your heels, dorsal flexion through your toes, and then feel that bend you get in the back of your knees as you press down through your heels. Keep it for now. See how I'm trying to stick my butt out rather than rounding? See if you can do the same. Anterior pelvic tilt, reach your arms up, inhale. And then stick your butt out, reach your heart forward, and fold. Grab wherever you can reach. Once you are folding, keep pressing through the backs of your heels, and now see if you can press down through the backs of your thighs as well. Heart reaches forward, butt reaches back, all the way to empty as you exhale. And at the bottom of each exhale, can you find Jalandhara Bandha, throat lock, Uddiyana Bandha, core lock, Mula Bandha, root lock. So everything squeezes in towards midline as you empty out, and then you fill back up. So use your breath to work the pose. Take about 2 more rounds in your forward fold. And then very, very end of your next exhalation, just roll it up ever so slowly. And then once your head stacks, find your way onto your back. You can use your hands, or if you're feeling it, you can hollow out your belly lower slowly using your core. I'm just gonna use my hands. Ugh. Once you're on your back, take a big full body stretch, arms long, legs long for a moment. Just pull yourself in opposite directions. And if your front ribs lift a lot, see if you can press down through your back ribs as you stretch, lengthen. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw your knees towards your belly and gently rock side to side. Give your low back a little massage against the ground. Supine spinal twist of choice, either side first. So you could simply let your knees fall to one side. Maybe you feel like crossing your legs or extending one leg. And then after about 5 rounds on this side, transition to the other side. All right, and then when you feel pretty even on both sides, bring it back to center. And finish your practice off with a happy baby pose. Unless happy baby is not what sounds good to you, then whatever sounds good to you, go for it. And if you're with me in happy baby, you might lengthen one leg like you're pulling a bow and arrow, and then the other leg. Maybe even both at the same time. And if there's anywhere else you want to go from happy baby, last few rounds of breath, go there. Eventually settle in to your final relaxation, your final resting pose, Shavasana. And at that point, once you settle in, just let your breath become effortless. So letting your autonomic nervous system take over again, and your breath is just effortless, happens on its own. Your muscles just melt. Your body just gives in to gravity. This is a reading by Brianna Wiest. Temporary, everything, all of it, even the best of it, especially the best of it. We only have so many years to know human love and do human things. Love them, all of them, even the painstaking ones. They too will not last. They are human. They are experience. The insecurity, the experience. The heartache, the experience. The confusion, the experience. The joy, the experience. The risk, the experience. There is nothing lost if we learn something from it. Your willingness to fail is proportionate to your potential to gain and to grow. The timer never stops running. All you will regret is not reaching harder for the things you actually wanted while they were still in front of you. If you are going through anything in your life, can you just let it be what it is and know that it's part of the experience? If there's something you feel unsettled about, can you let it be unsettled and know that it eventually will settle? Always does. So trusting in life itself. Life knows what you need better than you. It will hold you when you can't hold yourself if you trust. So the last Just 1 or 2 minutes, let go and know that everything is taking care of itself as it should. You just get to simply be. Feel everything there is to feel in this human body. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And just start to bring movement back into your body. Coming back to your day and everything it holds for you, but still just feeling all that energy inside of you and staying connected to it. Roll onto your side as you're ready, fetal position. And then use your arms to guide yourself up. Seated meditation. And for one last moment, just gather your hands to your heart. Prayer hands are one palm stacked atop the other. Bow your head to your heart in acknowledgement and gratitude. Thank yourself for taking time out of your day to be more present, to be more connected to your inner space. Everything going on inside of you, flowing through you. Thank you for letting me guide you. Namaste. All righty. Love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your whatever day it is, Tuesday.
Love
Love you, Katie. Thank you.
Thank you. Mwah.
you.